Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. I'm Mama Kalsum. I'm from PBI Class B, and now I will explain about psycholinguistics assignment 12 with the topic contribution of psycholinguistics to language pedagogy. So, the first question is, what do you know of psycholinguistics is an approach for language pedagogy? Explain your answer in detail. Okay. Psycholinguistics as an approach in language pedagogy combines insight from linguistics, psychology, and cognitive science to explore how individuals acquire, produce, and perceive language. According to Mariner and Cunning's 2018, as well as Day 2021, psycholinguistic theories have influenced the creation of various language teaching methods and techniques. These methods emphasize aligning teaching practice with the natural processes of language acquisition and mental functions. For instance, teachers can implement strategies that foster motivation and engagement. Even for students experiencing mental difficulties, techniques like task-based learning, context-rich communication, and incremental skill building reflect the principle of psycholinguistics, ultimately helping students improve their language production and perceptions. And the next is question number 2 is, psycholinguistics is an approach has contributed 3 language teaching methods for language pedagogy. What do you know of the 3 methods? Explain your answer in detail. So, psycholinguistics has inspired 3 influential methods for language pedagogy. And the first one is natural method. Originating from Gratian and Terrell, 1983, this method mirrors the natural process of first language acquisition. It highlights that language is an inborn talent, developed through exposure and mental processes, rather than explicit grammar teaching. Teachers using this method create immersive environments where students learn through interaction and context, similar to how children acquire their native language. And the second is total physical response, or TPR. James Asher's TPR is based on the parallelism between first and second language acquisition. By combining speech with physical actions, learners engage both cognitive and motor skills, making language learning more interactive and memorable. For instance, students respond to comments like stand up or point the book, reinforcing comprehension and retention through movement. And the third is Suggestopedia. Georgi Lozanov designed this method to overcome psychological barriers like fear, boredom, or self-doubt that hinder effective learning. By fostering a relaxed and positive environment, students develop self-confidence and active their subconscious mental resources, resulting in improved language acquisitions. Techniques include using music, storytelling, affirmation to make learning enjoyable and effective. And the question number 3 is, when you are required to choose one among the 3 methods, which one is preferable to you? Why do you think it is most preferable? Explain your reason and advantage of the method to the best of your knowledge. Among the 3 methods, I prefer the natural method because it closely reflects how individuals acquire their first language. This method is rooted in the principle proposed by Gratian and Terrell, 1983, emphasizing that language learning is an innate ability developed through natural exposure and interaction rather than explicit grammar instructions. The key advantage of the natural methods lies in its immersive and learner-centered approach. Teachers create real-life contextualized environments where learners engage with language in meaningful ways, such as through conversations, storytelling, or role-playing. This mirrors the natural acquisition process making it less intimidating and more intuitive for students. For example, instead of memorizing grammar rules, learners naturally pick up sentence structure and vocabulary through repeated exposure in authentic settings. Additionally, the natural methods foster confidence and reduces anxiety, as it allows learners to focus on understanding and communication rather than on accuracy. This method is especially effective for beginners and helps build a strong foundation for language fluency over time. Overall, the natural method is my choice because it supports a holistic, engaging, and practical approach to learning, aligning with the natural processes of human cognition and communication. And the fourth question is explanation of the activity of the descriptive identification techniques. The teacher uses students' physical characteristics or clothing to encourage descriptive language practice. For example, the teacher asks, "Who is the student with the long hair?" or "Who is wearing a white shirt?" Students then respond by identifying the classmate described. Adjectives like long, short, curly, and blue are used to teach descriptive vocabulary. And the methodology is, these techniques follows the natural methods, focusing on meaningful, contextualized communication without explicit grammar instructions. And the target skills is speaking, forming answers using descriptive language, listening, understanding key descriptive vocabulary, and the observations is enhancing attention to details in real-world context. Target group of learners is suitable for beginner to intermediate learners, especially children or adolescents in language learning classes. And the advantages: engaging, interactive, and promotes active participations. Contextual learning links vocabulary to real-world context, improving retentions. And confidence building reduces stress by using familiar classmates as subjects. Adaptable, can be adjusted to the learner's proficiency level and classroom settings. Conclusion: this activity combines observations, vocabulary, practice, and interactions, making it an effective technique for teaching descriptive language in a fun and practical way. Thank you for watching, and see you in the next video. I'm Ahmad Kalsum, I'm from PBI Class B. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.